Let's get right into it. Number 8. Napoleon was extremely short. You've probably heard the joke, Napoleon was tiny, pocket-sized, an angry French espresso shot with legs. But here's the twist. He wasn't. Not even close. The man was around 5'6" to 5'7", which was perfectly average height for his time. So how did history turn him into a bite-sized warlord? Blame politics. British cartoonists in the early 1800s went absolutely feral with propaganda, drawing him as a grumpy toddler in a general's coat. And because the British had newspapers, printing presses, and apparently an unlimited budget for slander, the world just believed it. Part of the confusion also came from the French measurement pieds, which converted weirdly into English feet. So historians got lost in the metric system before the metric system even existed. Iconic. The irony? Napoleon surrounded himself with very tall guards, which only made him look shorter. Imagine standing next to a squad of 6'4" human obelisks every day. Anyone would look like a fun-sized snack. So no, he wasn't short. He just got roasted by 200 years of international media, a true victim of the first global PR disaster. Number 7. Vikings wore horned helmets. Picture a Viking. Go ahead. You're imagining a massive warrior with a beard that could defeat you in combat, wearing a horned helmet like he's about to headline a heavy metal album cover. Very cool. Very dramatic. Very wrong. Real Vikings didn't wear horns, because nothing says, "Please rip me off my horse," like attaching giant handles to your head. Actual helmets were simple, rounded, and built for protection, not fashion. So where did the horns come from? Operas. Specifically, 19th century costume designers who thought, how do we make these Scandinavian murder athletes look even cooler? Add horns. And the world ate it up. Because audiences in the 1800s loved chaos and questionable design choices. Archaeologists have found ceremonial horned headpieces, but nothing used in battle, unless you count Halloween parties or Renaissance fairs. So next time you see a Viking with horns, remember, you're looking at historical fan fiction. Number 6. Einstein failed math school teaches you that even geniuses struggle sometimes. And they use Einstein as the poster child. See? Einstein failed math. You can do great things too. And while that's adorable and motivational, it's also completely fake. Einstein didn't fail math. Einstein obliterated math. He mastered college-level calculus by age 15, while the rest of us were trying to eat glue quietly enough not to get caught. His report cards survived, and they show high marks in everything except liking authority. The myth started because someone misinterpreted his grades. They didn't realize Swiss schools used a reversed scoring system for a while. So a 1 was good and a 6 was bad, but someone flipped them and declared Einstein a math failure. Boom! Instant inspirational lie. Einstein even responded to the rumor himself, saying, "Before I was 15, I had mastered differential and integral calculus." Imagine being so good at something that you have to publicly deny failing it. So no, Einstein didn't fail math. Humanity just failed reading comprehension. Number 5. People thought the Earth was flat in the Middle Ages. Let's time travel to medieval Europe, home of knights, plagues, and surprisingly well-informed people. Despite what modern memes and certain corners of the internet say, almost no one in the Middle Ages believed Earth was flat. Zero. Not farmers, not scholars, not sailors. By the year 1200, every educated person already knew Earth was round. Ancient Greeks knew it. Islamic scholars knew it. Navigators knew it. Medieval students could even calculate Earth's circumference more accurately than some people today who think YouTube comments count as research. So where did the flat Earth Middle Ages myth come from? The 1800s, again, because apparently that century was a chaos engine. Two authors trying to dunk on religion exaggerated history to make medieval people sound scientifically clueless. And the myth stuck. Meanwhile, medieval sailors were out there navigating using the curvature of the horizon, while modern flat earthers are arguing with strangers on Facebook. Truly, progress is a circle. Number 4. Witches were burned at the stake in Salem. If you picture the Salem witch trials, you probably imagine raging fires, dramatic screaming, villagers holding torches like they're auditioning for a medieval metal band. But in reality, 0 witches were burned in Salem. Not one, not even a little. The actual method was much less cinematic and far more bureaucratic. Hanging. 19 people were hanged. One man was pressed to death with heavy stones because someone in 1692 clearly woke up and chose creative violence, and several died in jail. But fire? Nope. That was mostly a European thing. So why does everyone picture witch burning in America? Blame pop culture, movies, Halloween decorations, and 200 years of sensationalized storytelling all mixed together into a convenient, spooky, historically incorrect smoothie. Salem became the poster child for witch burning even though they never lit a single witch-scented campfire. So next time someone says they burned witches in Salem, feel free to hang them with knowledge. Number 3. Nero played the fiddle while Rome burned. Ah, Emperor Nero, history's favorite drama king. Legend says he stood on a balcony playing a fiddle while Rome erupted into a giant flaming barbecue. But here's the truth. Fiddles didn't even exist in ancient Rome. Not invented yet. Not even close. Nero did enjoy music, but during the Great Fire of 64 CE, he was actually out of town. When he returned, he organized relief efforts, opened his palace to survivors, and arranged food supplies. But ancient historians didn't like him, so they cooked up a story that made him sound like the ancient world's worst neighbor. Imagine your house burns down and some guy goes, "Yeah, I bet he was playing Fortnite while it happened." That's basically what happened to Nero. The myth stuck because it was juicy, dramatic, and made for excellent gossip. But historically, Nero wasn't fiddling. The timeline doesn't even fiddle with the idea. Number 2. Marie Antoinette said, "Let them eat cake." This is the most famous quote in history that no one actually said. Marie Antoinette did not tell starving peasants to go munch on dessert during a famine. She didn't even like cake that much. The phrase showed up in a book written years before she was even born. It was political slander, plain and simple. Revolutionaries needed a villain, and Marie, rich, fashionable, foreign, was the perfect target. So they pinned the most cartoonishly out-of-touch line on her. And people believed it because it fit the narrative and made her sound like a Disney villain. In reality, Marie Antoinette donated money, helped the poor, and didn't go around handing out pastry-based insults. So next time someone quotes her, gently remind them, they're repeating 18th century fake news. Number 1. The Trojan horse was a literal giant wooden horse. The story goes like this. The Greeks built a giant wooden horse, hid a bunch of soldiers inside, and the Trojans said, "Cool statue, let's bring it inside our fortified city for fun." Historically, probably didn't happen. At least not like that. Many scholars think the horse was either a metaphor for an earthquake, because Poseidon, the god of earthquakes, was symbolized by a horse, a poetic way of describing a siege engine, or a misinterpreted military tactic involving a battering ram called, wait for it, the horse. The whole hiding inside a holiday decoration idea first appears in mythology, not historical records. And while it's a legendary story, archaeologists haven't found anything that screams giant wooden horse full of sweaty soldiers. Still, it's one of the most iconic metaphors ever, and it teaches an important lesson. Never accept large animal-shaped gifts from enemies. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them. Sketchy Logic Explains is an educational entertainment animation channel that explores the truth behind everyday mysteries. I put genuine effort into drawing every single day. It's not easy at all. Please help me with one subscription. It truly means a lot to me. I love you all.